just want to rant for a little bit, talk about this country, what it means to me. I was born in Las Vegas, Nevada. My grandfather was one of the most acknowledged trombone players in jazz, big band history. His name was Carl Fontana. My dad was call him a nuclear scientist if you want. He worked for EG&G and Rocky Flats out here in Colorado. He worked for, he did work in Yucca Mountain. He's been to 51. His dad was a war veteran. My mom is a really experienced equestrian, and honestly, she knows how to do so much. She is a real estate agent. She knows how to cut hair. She is a vaulter, an equestrian, a gymnast. She's studied law. She's studied crypto and blockchain, and she's just a great person. My dad is too. Anyway, I guess overall, from those kind of humble beginnings is where I started. We weren't a really wealthy family. My dad made a pretty good salary working for the government, and my mom, she definitely chipped in so many different ways as far as raising us, me especially being kind of the pain in the ass child who always fucking, created big problems and had big issues. And then, my dad always being there to kind of correct me and put me into like a state of humble, to where I could acknowledge the things that I was doing wrong and be able to be okay with it, and then try to move on, and towards a solution from there. I guess what I'm getting at is trying to explain myself a little bit so that you understand that, like, I wasn't some rich kid. My family was pretty, they were well off in the sense that, like, they could afford a house and to put us through school, and I had a dirt bike as a kid and played guitar, and my dad played drums, and there's all kinds of, luxuries that we were afforded. But we were also, like I said, we were not able to really have, the big luxuries like everybody, that I knew that was rich. Their family was rich. And I think ultimately, when it comes down to it, the world right now is kind of wrought with problems. It's battling all kinds of tyranny and evil and unwillingness to take accountability, acknowledgement. There's so much going on. Wars. We have literal children, out of the United States being deported right now from our authoritarian leader, and we have on a far worse spectrum, children dying, and Palestine and Israel and Ukraine and all kinds of places all over the world. Africa, we have wars everywhere, and the world is really falling apart. And I think that I'm not very religious, but I do wear St. Francis on me, and I do, I guess, claim to sort of be Catholic, and I'm Italian, so I mean it's my heritage. And I do believe in something after this. So I think with Pope Francis passing away, it's one of those things that we have to acknowledge that the world really is falling apart. There's no peace, there's no love, there's no camaraderie, there's no understanding, there's no acknowledgement or humble anymore. It's all dying. And the only thing that really I think is super important to humanity right now is preserving those things. Preserving the fact that, we are all stuck on this planet alone, together. And if we can't get along, this is just like the day old story that you say to your kids, if you can't play it together, then you can't play at all. And in a case where we can't play at all on this planet, it's not necessarily a great outcome. So I guess I just wanted to rant a little bit. And I've lost a lot of friends and family and people over this whole administration's kind of deconstruction of democracy in our Constitution and freedom. And I think that, if you look deep, if you stop believing that every fucking thing you see is fake news, and you start looking at the actual people and the accounts that they're saying, you'll understand that this is a very real situation, and a lot of people were manipulated and are lost, and it's up to people like me and us to help them. So let's all do our part and not give up, and try to keep positivity and hope and love and all these things alive, so that we can hopefully pass them on to the people who need them and the people who are going to deserve them in the future, our children. Have a good day.